How you doing, everyone? Scott back again, this time for my top metal albums of 2022. It seems like I'm pretty late to the party with this video, but this is the exact date that I did it last year, and that didn't seem too late. But I think everyone was kind of just jumping on this kind of video pretty early. Obviously had their minds made up, but I was still waiting for stuff to come in. I was getting stuff for Christmas and I was getting stuff for my birthday, which was a couple of days ago as well. So although I've been listening to these bands and these albums, I've not actually had a physical copy to hold up. So I wanted to wait until some of them came in. So I'm not going to beat around the bush. I've not really got these in a definitive order, but I will be showing the ones that I like the most towards the end, if that makes sense. I mean, there are some that I wasn't really too keen on, and there's a whole middle section, and all the good ones will be near the end of the video. So here we go. The biggest disappointment of the year for me, and I mean, this could make some people's number one. It was Ghost and Impera, I think its name is. Yeah. I wasn't really that keen on the singles, but I've picked up every Ghost album up until now. They kind of started to lose me with their last album, Prequel, and they just completely lost me with this. This is just not the Ghost that I enjoy. I like the first three albums, especially the first one and the third one. This is they've definitely kind of tailed off into something completely different. It's more pop now, which is fine. They're probably more successful commercially now. But as for their sound, I liked it a bit more mysterious, and it was a bit more doomy at the start as well, a bit heavier. So that was the biggest letdown for me, but a lot of people were raving about Ghost, but it just did nothing for me, to be honest. I was flicking through the tracks just wishing there was a great song, but I just never found it. Next up, now this isn't necessarily a bad album. This is just one I've not really spent that much time with, and it's a Polish band Aquila. I got this on Bandcamp. This is Mankind's Odyssey. Like I said, I've just not spent that much time with it, so I didn't really want to put it above other albums when I've not really had time to digest it properly. But what I have heard so far, it's just been in bits and pieces. I've not really had the chance to sit with the album as a whole yet. But what I've heard so far, it's really good. New wave of traditional heavy metal. I urge you to pick it up. It is good. Took a while. It is from Poland and of Bandcamp, so it did take a while to get here, but yeah, what I've heard so far, it's pretty decent. Next up is Avantasia and A Paranormal Evening with the Moonflower Society. This is Avantasia's follow-up to Moonglow, which I thought was a great album, although I'm kind of late to the whole Avantasia thing. I do love Tobias Sammet though. I think it lacked a certain something compared to Moonglow. Because it's kind of written in this kind of musical way, as if you could probably see it on a stage somewhere, as if it was an actual musical. But I mean, most of the songs are great. I just think it kind of lacked something compared to Moonglow, and I think I kind of went in with higher expectations than I should have. But all round, good album. A couple of dud songs, but overall pretty decent. Next up is going to be Megadeth and The Sick, The Dying and The Dead. It's definitely an improvement. There's no doubt about it from, what was our last one? Super Collider, which was terrible. I kind of went through a phase of just hating anything Megadeth after Euthanasia. I was actually planning on doing a album ranking So I was just playing Megadeth, 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 just trying to get those later albums to, trying to get them to sit. I'm trying to figure out where I was going to put them, and honestly, it started to actually piss me off because I just couldn't be bothered with them. So I was really reluctant to pick this up until everyone started raving about it, and it definitely is a return to form. There's some great tracks on it. What was my favourite track on this? I think Dogs of Chernobyl was my favourite track on this. Killing Time was good. Life in Hell was good as well. So I mean, there are some great tracks on this, but I mean, it's not gonna climb up my list really further than that. But it was a welcome change from the kind of rut that Megadeth have kind of been in the last, I don't know, 5-10 years. Next up is Ozzy and Patient Number 9. As soon as I heard the title track to this, I was delighted. Ordinary Man got a lot of shit, and I can see why, but I was kind of in the minority. I quite liked the album, apart from a certain couple of songs, but this was definitely a change in gear. Obviously, it had a lot of songwriting assistance, I would say. Obviously from all the people that were on it: Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Taylor Hawkins, Tony Iommi, and so on and so on. Obviously had a lot of input to the songwriting, but came out great. I really enjoyed it. Probably his best since, I'd want to say maybe Osmosis. Osmosis or No More Tears, I reckon. It was just very fluid. It came together really well. As an album as a whole, it was just far better than the recent ones he's done. So there we go. That is Patient Number 9 by Ozzy. Next one, Creator and Hate Uber Alice. This also got a bit of shit, but I know some people are they're wanting the old Creator back, and that's not going to happen. I quite like the more melodic heavy metal Creator. I don't see anything wrong with it. I think the songs are really strong as well. I really enjoyed this. So that is Creator. Hate Uber Alice. I'll buy their next one. Next one I thought was more of an all-out thrash album. Destruction and Diabolical. That's what I kind of said when I was doing my update when I was showing Creator. I thought if you want like a more all-out thrash album, then just get Destruction, Diabolical. One I struggled with at the start, but once I had a couple of listens, it's really good, start to finish. So, Destruction, Diabolical. Let's show this. I'll get onto the vinyl. I bought a lot more CDs this year because of the vinyl prices. So, next up is Riot City and Electric Elite. There was a bit of hype around this. I don't know if I can, because I'd seen everybody raving about it so much. Again with this, I maybe got my, I kind of raised my expectations. And because I listened to quite a lot of music like this, it wasn't really a massive difference for me. Like, I listen to a lot of new wave of traditional heavy metal now, so this wasn't all that different, but I can see why. I mean, there's some great songs on it. Eye of the Jaguar, Tyrant, Ghost of Reality, Paris Nights is really good. That's like a fun one. Severed Ties, which ends the album, is really good as well. So overall, really decent album, but I don't know. I just kind of remember the first time I listened to it, and I just thought, you know, it's good, but people were just like raving about it, and I just thought it is good, but I don't know if it was worth all that kind of praise. But so next up, I'll show some vinyl. I got the new Haunt and Windows of Your Heart. Another one that on first listen, it wasn't the kind of sound that I was looking for from Haunt. But after a few listens in a row, I really got on board with it. Really catchy, great lyrics, great riffs. So I was kind of relieved that I started to enjoy it. So there we go. Haunt and Windows to Your Heart. No, Windows of Your Heart. Let's go with... Yeah, let's go with this. Picked up Sword. Their third album. I think this is about 35 years in the making. Rick Hughes. I've got their first two on vinyl and loved them. So when I saw Sword were bringing out their third album, I was all over it. And I was not disappointed. This is a great album. This is like an album that metal bands have kind of forgotten how to do. 8 tracks, 35 minutes, in and out, boom boom, done. And some great tracks on this. Bad Blood, Dirty Pig is a really great song. Unleashing Hell, Spread the Pain, Took My Chance. Yeah, it's definitely worth a go. It does lack that kind of magic that the first two had. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, it's just as good as the first two, because it's not. It is different. It is, well, I mean, it's 35 years on, but definitely worth your time, even to just give it a listen on YouTube and see what you think. So that's Sword and 3. Let's go for my biggest surprise of the year. Enchantment. Obviously, Mark G with a C, and The Boys. Just one of those albums that just really took me by surprise. It wasn't an album I thought I was going to love, but I wanted to buy the album out of support for the band and for Mark. And when I put it on, it was just one of those albums that I just thought, that is awesome. And really opened my eyes to a different kind of subgenre of metal that I hadn't really delved into before. And this is kind of what it took for me to do that. But some absolutely amazing songwriting. Melodic at times, you know, heavy at times. You've got the clean vocals mixed in with the low guttural stuff. It's got enough in every song just to keep you there till the very end. So again, I've spoken about this before, but great job. I just love this album. So Enchantment and Cold Soul Embrace. Let's talk about Skid Row and The Gang Is All Here. This was another album that I thought I was just going to try and avoid. I didn't think it was going to be anything good. The only plus that I saw from this was that Eric Grunwald from Heat had joined the band as the new vocalist. And there's masses and masses of his, what am I trying to say here? Of his input. That's what, I mean, that's not the word I was trying to look for, but you can tell that he's had a lot to do with the lyrics, the songwriting, the melodies, and it's such a great album for it, I have to say. I listened to that. Heat had a new album out this year. Listened to that, and this is far better. This is, I mean, there's not really a bad song on it, if I'm being honest. There's some, you know, sketchy lyrics, but you'll probably find that in most albums. Even October's song, that's a kind of ballad on it. That's a great song, and I'm not really one for ballads anymore. I do like kind of 80s ballads, but nowadays they do get a bit kind of, they are cheesy. But October song is a great album, so I was really surprised when I heard this. So that's Skid Row and The Gang's All Here. Excellent. Right, we're getting into the kind of nitty gritty here. This is the last 4, so these are, well, saying that, that's my 5. That would be my top 5, including Skid Row. So let's go for a bit of black metal. Stormroller. This is Black Magic and... No, I always get this wrong. Sacred Rites and Black Magic. To be honest, I don't know much about Stormroller. I just saw this on Amazon and I just loved the cover. So I gave it a listen and I thought, that's pretty awesome. It's black metal. There's that kind of verge of thrash in there, a bit like kind of like Immortal. I mean, look at the song list, but there's like 10 songs, but every song has an intro and probably an outro. I mean, you look at that and you just shit your pants when you think you've got to listen to all that. But I think there's like 10 main songs with little kind of skits and intros and stuff like that. But this is really, really good. You know, it's not heavy on distortion. The production's great, really clear, melodic at times, then it can just get brutal at times. It's an album that can really keep you on your toes. So that is a Stormroller and Sacred Rites and Black Magic. Really great album. Next up, let's go to another Polish band, and this is Slave Keeper. And it's called Slad. That's probably not how you pronounce it in Polish, but it's Schlad or Slad. But this is mostly in Polish. There's a couple of songs on it that are not, but it really doesn't make a difference. This is musically awesome. This took a really long time to come actually from Poland. And I actually was talking back and forward with a member of the band, and you know, it looked like it wasn't going to arrive, but it finally did. And I'm so glad I've actually got it here to hold and show everybody that to go and kind of check this band out. It's like new wave of traditional heavy metal. There's power metal. There's folk metal in there. You know, there's a whole lot going on. It's quite, I would say it's quite a long album, but it's not long in terms of, oh, you kind of want it to end. Like we've got to that point now. It's long, but it's really, really great. Female fronted. I'm sure there's male vocals in there as well, but it's mostly female fronted, but really awesome. And that artwork is fire as well. So that's Slave Keeper from Poland, Slad. Check that out, by the way. Let's go with two left. Savage Master, Those Who Hunt at Night. Excellent. Just that kind of early 80s influenced metal that you just feel like the band is in a room and they've just recorded the whole album that way. I wouldn't say you get like a live experience, but that's almost what it's like. I would say it sounds like early Motley Crue. It's like Shout at the Devil, but a modernised version of that. Just excellent. There's not a bad song on it. Also female fronted as well. Excellent. This is the first album I've heard by Savage Master, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So that is that one. And the last one. This is the one that I've listened to the most. It might be an album that you guys have never even heard of. I hadn't heard of this band until I basically saw this and, you know, thought I'd check out a few songs, and I just thought, oh yeah, I am all over that. So my most listened to, my kind of favourite from this year would be Wolfheart and King of the North. Like I said, I'd never even heard of this band before this year. Saw this, it looked interesting, gave it a shot, and it was absolutely awesome. It's it's like epic metal mixed with death metal, and there's some kind of blackened stuff in there as well. You know, there's string sections, there's a lot going on. It feels very epic. A great mix of guttural vocals with, they're mostly guttural vocals mixed with really clean vocals. Production's awesome. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nine tracks. It doesn't hang around. It's awesome. So if that sounds up your street, I would definitely give Wolfheart and King of the North a go. It's honestly just brilliant. It almost kind of like tells a story in your head. That's the way I see it anyway. But just some really interesting stuff there. So Wolfheart, King of the North, that is my number 1. So thanks very much for watching that. I tried to get through them as quick as I could. And I'll be back very soon, probably with a collection update. That'll probably be next week. But until then, let me know what you think. What was your kind of top 3, top 5 of 2022? And until then, I will see you very soon. Cheers.